Your life does not die when you choose marriage. Like, life can be so fun if you're with the right person. I firmly believe that.
Whatever era you're in life, you have the opportunity and you have the choice to make the most out of it.
Megan, you are my greatest mystery. I wonder where your husband's walking there with her right now. You ever think of that?
Where my husband is walking around right
Like,
now?
what is he doing right now?
Your answer is as good as mine. I have no fucking clue.
Do you ever go to bed thinking that? Like, he's like in bed while you're sleeping?
Not typically when I go to bed, but like once in a while I have a random thought, like I wonder who my husband is dating right now.
Ooh,
And I hate her. No, I'm
spicy.
just kidding. I don't hate her.
She's actually doing the Lord's work because she's making him the best version of himself so that when you meet him, he's going to be amazing. No training.
Amazing. Thank you. I appreciate you. That's what I'm trying to say here. All right, starting this episode, CELE Scoop. We're just figuring out where you're at. How are you doing?
How are you
Carly,
doing?
what's something you're loving about the season that you're in right now?
I am just loving feeling a little bit more self-actualized when I started my journey in my 20s. Feeling a little richer, a little healthier, a little hotter, a little bit more ready to start a family.
When I was mid-20s, I was really scared about aging.
Me too. Oh
I
gosh.
started not feeling like the youngest person in the world, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, this is terrifying.
Yeah.
And now that I'm almost 30, I'm realizing it's actually the best. We keep
is.
getting happier, healthier, hotter. It's not that bad. So
Not that bad. It's
the
funny.
season is amazing.
One realization I had recently, like, wow, I'm actually getting older. When I go to restaurants, I realize most people, not everyone, but most people who work there, especially the hostesses, I'm like, dang, they are young. And I look older. And that has clocked me in the head. Like, I'm getting older. I'm aging.
I thought you
But
were
we love
gonna
it.
say when I go to a restaurant, they sit me at a table and I always want to change the table. And that's what's making me realize
Oh, no.
that I'm getting older.
You
'Cause
mean like get up and
yeah, actually I want that table. I don't know why I thought you were
I
gonna
have
say.
done that before though, but I'm not prone to doing that. But
No,
I've
I don't
definitely
think
done
you, I don't know why. I just thought that's what you were gonna say. All right, next one.
Yeah.
What's something you're actively manifesting right now? And then what are you actively doing to manifest it?
I am actively manifesting starting a family, having a baby, and
So what do you do to do that?
just making sweet love as often as I can. And we're gonna see what freaking happens.
I love that. Amazing. I can't wait to be Auntie Meg.
I can't wait. Girl, you might be in line for godmom. I don't have
This is
anyone else.
news
So,
to me. I've
yeah.
not heard this, but I'm down.
Yeah, we just gotta get you up there.
I need like I
need-
need this 9-month period of you being pregnant to mature a little.
Yeah.
And then I think I'd be worthy of the role. So
You should
thank
ask
for the warning.
ask your future partner if they might be okay with that.
On a first date.
Yeah.
Hey, my bestie business partner is like working on having a baby right now, and she might want me to be the godmother. So are you down?
So are you down?
Not to rush things along. I mean, I guess what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I just got off of my last summer in my 20s. That was a
summer for the books.
It was a summer for the books. They were the best memories of my life. So much fun. And I keep seeing on Instagram now, it's like, okay, summer's over. I'm ready to start a family and name all my kids after the Bible and have 7 kids out. I feel that. Right now,
Real?
I'm ready. I want to be in a relationship. I'm almost 30. Living for the plot after a certain age is not cute anymore. I'm aging out of it, so I'm ready to settle down. That's what I'm manifesting.
It's been fun.
And to manifest that, what am I doing? I mean, I'm not out there chasing a man down the street, but I am working on my relationship with myself and just, like, my energy's just open and excited to meet people. Dropping the handkerchief. Have you heard of it?
No, tell me.
So back in the day, if a woman was interested in a man, she would literally drop a handkerchief. And then he would pick it up, and that's how he would know
awesome.
that she's interested.
Wow.
And I feel like so many people today, guys are saying, I go up and hit on a girl, and her energy's so closed off. She thinks I'm being creepy. She thinks I'm being pushy, whatever it is. So guys are a little bit more
Scared.
shut down for approaching women. I've seen that and I've heard it from multiple people. So dropping the handkerchief and opening your energy is just making eye contact with someone, smiling at someone, just
Yeah.
starting a little conversation with a guy, not asking them out, of course. Not a guy. I
Shoot
don't
your
have a
shot.
penis, but just dropping the handkerchief. I guess that's what I'm doing.
I was gonna ask, recently, have you been anywhere where you spotted a guy and you're like, dang, I am so into him?
Oh,
And
yeah.
did you go up to him?
No.
Come on! I think you gotta go up to him next time.
Yeah, there is a man in my neighborhood. He's so sexy. I call him the buzz cut man, and I have a crush on him.
Aw.
And if he ever sees this episode as someone in Brickell with a buzz cut, I have a crush on you, and you can't ask me on a date.
You're missing out. You don't know what's in front of you when she passes you on all of those Brickell walks.
This episode is really about how we're both turning 30 in the next couple months, and there are two different paths that people typically are in this phase of your life. Some of my friends are married, have been with their partners forever, are pregnant, are already having babies. And then some of my friends were literally on a 4-month bender in Europe this summer, making out with 21-year-old boys and not having a care in the world. So
Not Megan.
there are different, and then of course there's the middle ground, of course.
Yeah.
But there are different paths. There's the single path and the settled down path. And I think sometimes as me, the single one in this scenario we're talking about, you feel like you're on the wrong path, or you feel like you're behind, or you feel like you're not taking life seriously enough. And we just want to kind of have a conversation about how neither path is right or wrong. No one's behind. Everyone is on their own freaking timeline, and just the pros and cons of each.
Absolutely. When it comes to timelines, it can feel really overwhelming, especially as women, because we do have a little bit of a timeline if you want to have children, so you start to pressure yourself. But the really important thing would remind people is you've got to have a funeral for all of your expectations. Drop them, because when you have expectations and you don't hit them, that's when you start to dent your own confidence and your own gratitude and your own joy in this life. And I will actually say this, I thought I would have been a mom by now. When I was younger, I was diehard, I am starting a family at 25. I'm going to have all my kids
That
before
was my
30.
number 2.
Really? Mm-hmm. And since then, now that I'm almost 30, I'm still not pregnant yet, I am so glad that it didn't work out the way that I wanted it to. Life would have been so much more stressful. Like, truly, we were not ready. It would have been so much more stressful. And I think sometimes when these timeline pressures creep in, we really start to let it take us down.
Yeah, definitely. And for me personally, I live in Miami. Miami is a very single dating city. I moved there right after a breakup. I've met a lot of other people who moved there recently single. So when I'm in my home life in Miami and I'm just dating or just being a single girl, I don't really feel a lot of judgment. But then when I go home where I'm from, Connecticut, where there's a lot of hometown homies there.
Right.
People haven't really left, and they're more settled down and they're more grounded. And even like one of my younger brothers just got married, and I think both my younger sisters just started relationships with people that I think I see them being with long term. Those are the times where I start to be like, Meg, like what are you doing? Why are you so into your single life? Like, let's be a little bit more serious. And I'll start to judge my timeline, but I need to kind of in those moments, I'd rewire my self-talk. I'm like, honestly, that wasn't my path. I had a lot of growing to do. I was not meant to be in the forefront of my friends being married. Any one of my besties knows that. I was meant to be middle tail end.
I think too, it's like when things don't work out the way that we thought they should, you know, that thought loop can really take you down. But when they don't work out the way that we think they should, sometimes it's like, what is God, the universe, what is it saving you from? You know?
Yeah.
You really don't know. Like, maybe none of those men worked out because they were never going to work out anyway, and you could have settled. Not. Was there a time in your dating paths and careers, if you will, was there a time where you almost settled for taking that next step, and was it scary? Like, how do you feel now?
I don't think there was a time that I almost settled for the next step, but I did just have this really strong feeling in myself that I needed more time to be single, find myself, figure out what I want. I had a lot of self-love to build within myself. and just so I could attract a partner that is loving me the same way that I'm loving me.
Absolutely.
So I don't know if that exactly answered your question, but that's
More so just trying to hit on a lot of women settle.
yeah, I mean, I've been with really, really great guys before that I think maybe a lot of women wouldn't have broken up with or ended it with, but I just had a feeling within me that there was a better person out there for them and that there was a better person out there for me. So I definitely haven't settled in that way.
Well, also seeing the life that you've created in Miami, you are flourishing. And I don't think
Yeah.
you give yourself enough credit for that. You have
Yeah.
a beautiful home. Any person would be lucky to share it with you. So I always say this to Megan. I'm like, Megan needs to be mindful who she chooses to do life with because you are a force.
Yeah.
And I see the life that you've created by yourself. You are so hot, so fun, so playful, so positive. You're such a light, and I think that as we enter 2026, I think your person's coming, and I think that it's all worked out the way it needs to.
Well, I did just catch the bouquet at my cousin's wedding a
Oh.
couple weeks ago, so watch the hell out.
The cosmos are looking like you're gonna find them then.
So I guess Carly, on the other hand, I'm the single 29-year-old girl. If you don't know, Carly met Daddy Drew, who we love so
We
much,
love Daddy Drew.
at 18. And
Yes.
you've gone you're one of my friends that's almost like the extreme other path. You're one of my friends who met their partners earliest on in life and who's really grown up with your partner. So what do you appreciate about the path that you're on?
I just love to be able to have the partner that I get to choose and really grow with and do life with. And I would say, I think one of the biggest things being in a happy marriage, we are 11 years together now. We're going to be celebrating 3 years married soon.
Wow.
And I think the thing that a lot of people don't always get to be exposed to is all of the hard work that is required for a happy relationship, and the commitment and the choosing of each other and the dropping the judgment when maybe they act a certain way and you're like, ooh, I didn't like it. You acted in that social setting. I think it's been such a work in progress. And today I know that our marriage is stronger than it has ever been, and we're only getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And I think the beautiful part that, I don't know if you noticed, but Drew, a lot of people are like, oh, the honeymoon season, it's 6 months and it's done. Drew and I's spark has consistently gotten more and more lit up over the years.
Yeah.
Over the years. And I've fallen more in love with him over time. And it's been so beautiful to witness each other's growth over the past 10 years and really step into the most evolved, self-aware versions of ourselves.
Yeah.
And the way that we both support each other to go after whatever it is we dream of is so massive. Your life does not die when you choose marriage. Like, life can be so fun if you're with the right person. I firmly believe that.
So the best parts are really that you've gotten to grow and evolve together and that the connection just keeps getting stronger.
Yeah, absolutely. Grow, evolve, give each other the space to do so. You don't go into a marriage being complete. You complete each other. And I think that's a big part that people miss.
Wait, what do you mean?
What I mean by that is that we're all imperfect. Literally nobody on earth is perfect. So you have to understand they're going to mess up. And you have to be willing to decide, am I going to give them grace and let them grow and evolve and become better, or am I just going to cut it off?
Yeah.
And I think sometimes people cut it off before they even get the chance
Yeah.
to find out all the magic that's there. Like, there's so much magic that Drew and I have unlocked together. And I waited like 8 years for that. Some of the magic that's unlocked.
patience.
So, yeah.
And that's, you saying that is so enlightening to me because I think a lot in my 20s, I didn't give myself a lot of grace. So whenever I was in a relationship with someone and they did something that I thought was a mistake or something that I just really didn't like, I would just automatically end it with them rather than working through it and getting to the other side of that magic. And seeing you and Drew as a really good example to me, be able to work things and see how you guys have this relationship that goes stronger and stronger with time has been a great example for me as someone who kind of maybe had this thought of like a long-term relationship is boring or it's not
Yeah.
exciting. I'd rather be single and dating and having all this fun. It's kind of kiboshed that old belief. It's not
I
true.
love
There's
that.
also a lot that happens that isn't so fun.
Yeah.
And it just helped me to see that pattern in myself of me not giving myself grace and me not giving my partner grace, breaking up with them prematurely, missing out on that magic. So I know in my next relationship, when it is more long term, I want to be someone who stays through, has the patience, gives people grace, and works through the things rather than just runs away.
It kind of reminds me, a big thing right now is I'm going to write out this entire list of what I want my person to be, how I want them to look, this, that. Those are way too high of expectations. Do you know when I met Drew, the only thing I wanted a man that loved food and wine and appreciated it and was kind, loving, and generous. That was it.
Okay.
That was it. So I think
Did
girls
you write this down
just thought
or
it,
this was just you?
just thought it.
Those were your standards.
Yeah, those were my standards. And he showed those early on. And there was parts of him that were hard. I mean, in social settings, I can remember in college, I was a little bit more outgoing. He was a little bit more standoffish. There was times where I would take that personally. We would fight through that.
Yeah.
And but I think sometimes people's lists, it's amazing. Visualization is an incredible tool, but we also need to keep it in check because you might be cutting the person off for you just because they don't hit a certain box. And it's interesting. I think it's an amazing tool. I think writing down your standards is amazing, but maybe it's time to take those 10 standards back down to 4.
I like that. I see both sides though. I
Yeah.
see it's like we have one life. We want, of course, our dream partner who is everything that we desire.
No
and
one's
we
perfect,
don't want to
though.
settle.
No one's perfect. I'm
Yes.
just going to keep saying that.
And no one's perfect. And then I get at the same time, in relationships and not relationships, a lot of things that we think we want for ourselves, that we think we really need,
Yeah.
you realize later in life, oh, I didn't need that. I got something else. God gave me something else, and it actually worked out way better.
Yeah.
So probably
I like
those
that.
like core foundations and just focusing on those rather than all the extras that don't really, really matter is more important.
I've heard this part too, and this is something I would probably prioritize if I was single right now. I've heard just these core 3, have these core 3 conversations
God, I've
before
never
marriage.
heard. I'm
Faith,
excited.
family, and finances.
Yeah.
I think those are the 3 most important. Of course, you want your relationship to be sexy, but if you do want a family, those are going to be the 3 most crucial pieces of conversation because most marriages end in divorce because you didn't have those 3 pivotal foundational conversations.
Yes.
So those are huge. Drew and I had those a lot in the beginning. We were young though. I wouldn't say we had them right away.
I mean, you were 18. What the hell was I talking about when I was 18?
Yeah, we were
Four
definitely...
Locos and like the elliptical trainer.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, I tried to let him know like pretty early on. I definitely want a family. That'd probably be pretty quick, but yeah. And then one thing that I think Drew and I will say we're pretty good at, and I think you know this to be true too. We prioritize our date nights.
I knew you were good. Yes, you guys are so good.
We love to dress up.
Yeah, you love to dress up. You guys have never stopped dating each other. And that's
Yeah.
also inspiring to me.
Yeah,
And it shows that the fun doesn't stop.
I usually
just 'cause
say
you're in
that.
a long-term relationship.
Never stop dating.
No.
Never stop dating. And one thing, because you've said you really admire Drew and I's relationship, I think you and I both really admire Gigi's relationship.
Yes.
Shout out Gigi, that's Megan's mom.
Gigi's my mom. My mom and Marcus do have an amazing relationship. I think Marcus adores my mom. My mom adores Marcus. They both really have independent friendships and lives a little bit outside of each other, and then have this really awesome relationship with each other where they bring out the best in each other, and Marcus just spoils my mom in the best
So
way,
sweet.
and my mom spoils him back in
Aw.
her own way, and they've been a really great relationship role model for me to look at over the past years.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's been hard moments.
Oh my God, yeah, they had a blended family of 5 kids. We were all a lot of personalities growing up in the house. There were
Megan came in like a force.
I was the oldest. I came in hot. I was trailblazing.
Yes.
Me and my sister alone. I don't even know how anyone raised us.
God bless Marcus.
Then there were ex-spouses and everything. But yeah, they were the same. They were patient. They kept working. They kept choosing each other over and over. I mean,
So
those are
beautiful.
really the commonalities between every relationship that I see that I admire. Keep dating, choosing each other, man spoiling the woman and making her just feel inner feminine and loved and adored. And how you said that you and Drew haven't stopped dating each other,
Yeah.
and that's what keeps it exciting. I think that's something I also want to touch on, and people in my era, I know there's a lot of women who are like upper 20s and 30s, and they're starting to get so down on being single, and then they're just turned into a couch potato, and they're just losing all hope. And that's also not the vibe. Like, you have to keep your dating life fun, and I'm not saying you have to date a million guys, but put yourself out there, go on dates with your friends. Also, make the most out of this time, because
Yeah.
you will never have as much time for yourself as a single person with no kids.
It's true.
The
Yeah.
morning routine, the wellness, the self-care, the trips that I get to go
Be
on.
selfish, girl.
I am selfish as fuck.
Yeah.
And I keep that as a gratitude point in my mind of, this is the last era of that in my life, because when I find my partner, it's going to be endgame. So I'm just appreciating this and all of the time that I get to spend in front of my red light machine every single day.
I have loved seeing you thrive all summer long too. I think I remember when you were heading out of town, I was like, girl, have fun. Like, this is going to come to an end.
Yes.
Probably soon, you know? So have so much fun.
Fingers crossed. Yeah. Being single doesn't have to suck, is what I just want to say. Like,
It can be so fun.
Whatever era you're in life, you have the opportunity and you have the choice to make the most out of it.
Absolutely.
And you have the choice to make it this horrible era that you're complaining about and you're just not seeing the positive. And then on the other hand, I hear married people that are older, everyone says it, appreciate this time in your life. Things are so clear in retrospect. So the girls that are in the thick of it, that are single right now and not loving it, not appreciating it, when they're in a relationship in 5 years, they're going to look back and think, I wish I appreciated that.
Yeah.
So why not just appreciate it now? If you want a husband, he wants you too. One of my really good friends, Agatha, says, if you exist, he exists. And I truly believe that. So you're going to find him. You might as well have fun and go on dates with hot men and go on some trips in the meantime.
Yes, you should.
That's my motto.
And I think that's an important one.
All that being said, you picked Daddy Drew. You picked a good man who just treats you so well, is a provider, is just a great human, treats your friends really well. As a married woman in a successful marriage, what advice would you give someone in my era on picking the right partner?
That's a really good question. I think picking the right partner, it's so important to make sure that they're willing to become better. A lot of people become really stagnant and unwilling to make changes in their life. They're unwilling to get uncomfortable and look in the mirror and wonder, especially because, you know, I've mentioned a lot, like, we are not perfect. There's things in both Drew and I's partnership where there was times where we were not the best versions of ourselves. And we were both willing to get help for that. And I think it's so crucial to be able to do the inner work and work on it and go to therapy. And a lot of people are just unwilling. So I think it's so important to find a partner. And you can notice little things. Going to the gym usually means they like to become better. So it's not like, you don't have to outright ask, hey, are you willing to go to therapy? But it's just more noticing the habits, the day-to-day habits.
Like, are they setting goals?
Are they setting goals, right?
Do they have a vision for their life?
How do they talk about their own family? Are they blamers? Are they victims in all their, all the different parts of their lives? So I think that's so crucial when you do find a partner, because in order for it to be sustainable, they have to be open to working on themselves, and you vice versa.
Yeah. So making sure that they're open to grow. What else? I need help.
My girl needs help. Making sure that they're open to growing. Also making sure, and this really goes hand in hand. You get out of life, you get out of your relationship what you put into it. So a lot of women will get a little annoyed if they're not showing up a certain way, or they're not, getting them a gorgeous bouquet of flowers just because. If you want that, you do have to ask for it. You can't just sit there and expect that they're going to show up the way that you want to show up for you without actually communicating. So I think sometimes it's like unfair, and we'll be like, oh my, he never gets me flowers, but I see your boyfriend always gets you flowers, and you start to compare, and then you start to really get hard on your partner. So I think it's also important to communicate what it is you want.
Yeah. So find someone that it's easy for you to communicate what you want, someone who actually listens.
Yeah.
And takes action on the things that you're saying, but you're saying in a loving way. Not in like a naggy way.
Yeah. You don't want to mother your husband.
Any other qualities that you think the single girlies need to be looking at? Because I know you've heard of a lot of the guys that I've dated in the past year, and you're like, no, like absolutely not.
Maybe don't choose the hottest man in the room.
I think
you
that
should be
advice
hotter.
From a lot of people. Yes, I agree. Yeah. I think the girls should definitely be hotter. Yeah. My mom has always said that to me.
Yeah, just because he has a six-pack doesn't mean he needs to be yours.
No.
Maybe there's an insecurity there. Why do you think all the girls like the dad bods? I don't know that if I was single, I don't know I would straight up go for the dad bod, but I also wouldn't go for the six-pack either. Maybe in the middle. But
yeah, I realize I don't like the full six-pack because that usually means that someone is so into working out and their eating regimen that they don't enjoy life that much. And I found I don't love that.
Yeah.
One of my friends doesn't like a six-pack because she just doesn't like feeling like her guy is going to be talking to other girls or having a competition. So she purposely goes for not the hottest guy in the room in that way. So that could be a factor. Yeah. And then maybe it's more pressure. If I'm dating a guy with a six-pack, I feel like I need to have a fully flat stomach and be so fit. So it's less I don't know. These are just my guesses. Because I sometimes do like a six-pack.
I know. When I was younger, I would actually go for the underdog. So I would kind of look at certain things and I'd be like, ooh, okay, maybe I don't love his style, but I can change that, So I think maybe don't go for the hottest man in the room.
I definitely think that that's great advice. And people in successful relationships repeatedly tell me that advice. So there has to be something to it.
Also, don't go for the guy whose Instagram feed is filled with selfies. That is like a walking red flag. Straight up.
Yeah, I agree.
So, Megan, I know your man's out there. And if anyone's listening, because Megan is an amazing candidate. She's beautiful, she's kind, she's loving, she's a go-getter, she's independent. And I know I'm always wondering like, who's Megan gonna end up with? She's my little mystery, and
We're finding out in the next year. So stay tuned. I will be meeting him in my 30th year or before.
I can't wait to meet him. I definitely know that we're gonna be on yachts in our future all together once we all have kids and living our best lives.
Yes.
Many seasons from now, but.
Yes. Carly and I are constantly sending each other memes and reels of what our future is going to be with our partners. And all this being said, to tie it up, don't put freaking pressure on your timeline. Maybe your best friend gets married 5 years before you, and then you end up having a kid a year before her, or you guys have, or you have your first kid at the same time she has her second kid. Or maybe you get married the same time your best friend enters her second marriage. No one has any clue what the future holds. Stop putting so much pressure on your timeline. Enjoy your freaking era, whatever it is. Do whatever you can to make the most of it, because you're not going to get this era back. Like, you're still in the first years of your marriage. This is an era for you. Your pre-kid era. I'm in my single era. We're making the most of it. We're enjoying it. Temporary. And that's what you got to do. And I feel like this is the best time to pick a CELE Chats card to just take this combo even deeper. You first, girl.
I'll go. I love that advice, by the way. What is one thing you do daily that makes you a happier person? Honestly, I'm just going to keep it simple. A cup of coffee in the morning. You will not find me cutting out coffee. It's my favorite slow moment to start the day. I do look forward to it, and it does make me a little bit happier because it's Often a time spent alone that I really cherish and enjoy, but also a time spent with people I love. I love to grab a coffee, go for a good walk and coffee chat.
Coffee chat with CELE Chat. Wait,
Yeah.
random question. Are you allowed to drink coffee when you're pregnant?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I imagine maybe not a bunch, but
You're going to have to cut back from your 3 a day. Kind of similar question. What about your current life brings you the most happiness?
it's a good question for
I
you.
would say my friendships. I am surrounded by so many people who bring so much fun and love and light to my life. And being single for the past couple of years, I've had such a great opportunity to deepen my friendships to an even stronger level. And I'm really grateful for that. And
I was going to say, you bring so much joy to my life. I always think, what would my life be like without Megan? You're the most playful, funny, silly, lighthearted, but also down to get shit done friend. So,
I feel the same about you. I love you
Love you.
so much.
thank you so much for tuning in to CELE Chats. Please subscribe and follow us on Instagram at Let's CELE.
And you could check out CELE Chats cards game, the best card game for making any hangout, any happy hour, any brunch more memorable at letscele.com.